Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe and hit the bell icon for new updates. You've seen the deals and all the crazy stuff. The cars that got fixed up in 48 hours and sold fortunes of money. Fast and Loud made. Richard Rawlings super famous. But there's a part of his world you never got to see. Hidden behind Gas Monkey, away from the cameras and all the crazy stuff, is a garage that even his biggest fans didn't know about. No film crew, no trying to sell cars, no bright lights. Inside are the cars that weren't for TV. The ones that never left, Theonies that tell his real story. Because behind all the buying and selling is a man who still keeps the cars that made him who he is, and the memories they hold under every scratch, every dent, every bolt that was never touched. This is the real Richard Rawlings, and the secret garage. That shows who he really is. It's not on any map. There's no bright neon sign, no loud monkey picture, no camera crew hanging around the door. It's just a plain metal building hidden behind the main Gas Monkey building. No windows, no social media posts, no talking about it in interviews. But for Richard Rawlings, it's the most important place he owns. This is the garage no one gets to see. While the main Gas Monkey shop became like a stage for crazy car fixes and wild builds, this building stayed locked up. It wasn't where deals got made or shows got filmed. It wasn't for business. It was personal. Only a few people even knew it was there. Close friends, old car guys, and maybe a few lucky fans who got to peek through a crack in the door on the right day. And what's inside? Not what you'd think. There's no shiny tile floor, no chrome-covered trophy cars sitting under bright LED lights. Instead, you'll find dust, tools on workbenches, old car parts, a chalkboard with notes written years ago that Richard never wiped off. It's rough, real, and honest. Here, every car has astery, and none of them are for sale. There's a reason Rawlings kept this place secret, because this isn't the garage of a TV star. It's the garage of the guy before the cameras. The guy who saved up enough money for his first fastback. The guy who fixed cars before he made deals. The guy who still remembers every mile, every bolt, every late night spent with grease on his hands and a dream in his heart. In this garage, nothing is fake. Everything is special. And as Rawlings himself once said, when the cameras are off and when the doors close here, that's when I remember who I really am. Hidden in the far corner, behind shelves of mixed up parts and a dusty jukebox that hasn't worked in years, sits a car that most people would walk right past. A sun-faded 1965 Mustang Fastback. The paint is peeling off. One of the back quarter windows is cracked. These seats are ripped up and the dashboard has seen better days. But to Richard Rawlings it means everything. This wasn't a TV build. It wasn't bought to fix up and sell or show off. This Mustang was the first car Rawlings ever bought for himself. Back when he had just enough money to pay rent and buy gas, but not enough to fix a leaky engine part. He saved up the money, working odd jobs and working at a bar, and the day he drove it home, he promised he'd never sell it. Many years later, he still hasn't. He could fix it up tomorrow. He could turn it into a show car, put in a new engine, redo the inside, paint it in mirrors shiny red. But he won't. If I did that, Richard once said, it wouldn't feel like mine anymore. Because this car still smells like 1990s dreams. The steering wheel is still worn from the long drives where he'd daydream about opening his own shop. The floor mats still have rocks from the parking lot of the bar he used to work at. It's not just a Mustang, it's a time machine. One that takes him back to who he was before the world knew his name. And maybe that's why he keeps it hidden. Because this car is their list version of who he is. Hungry, broke, full of fight, and willing to risk everything for the ride. In the middle of the garage, sitting quietly on a car lift like a story frozen in time, is a 1972 Chevy C10 truck. The paint's been taken off. The custom frame is welded but not finished. There's no engine under the hood, just hope. This truck wasn't meant to be another quick fix and sell or feature. It was something more, something special. It started as a father-son project. Before the Fast and Loud craziness, before Gas Monkey took off, Richard and his dad started working on this C10 together. They had a plan. Fixed up, lowered, big engine power, all custom inside. It wasn't just about building a truck. It was about building time together. Then the show hit. Schedules got crazy. The garage turned into a circus and suddenly time was something Richard couldn't afford. Then his father died and just like that the truck stopped. Tools were left where they were. Plans remained taped to the wall, yellow with age. And though Richard has walked past it 1,000 times, he's never brought himself to finish it. He says he gets as far as the same bolt, then walks away because finishing the build would mean ending a chapter he's not ready to let go of. Leaving the truck half-built keeps his dad there right beside him, wrench in hand, in the middle of talking. Sometimes quiet speaks louder than any engine. In a far corner, under low-hanging lights and a black cover put there on purpose, lies something no one, not even big Fast and Loud fans, has ever seen on camera. A 1969 Dodge Daytona. Not a copy, not a look-alike, their old thing. It has the nose cone, thewing, the number, and the original paperwork to prove it. Rawlings chased this car for 11 years. He first heard about it from a friend of a friend, a guy who owned it, didn't drive it, and definitely didn't want to sell it. But Richard doesn't give up easily. Over 10 years, he kept calling, visiting, making offers. Each time he got the same answer, no. Until one night, years later, the call finally came. A midnight handshake deal. No cameras, no crowd, just two men, a garage light, and a moment Richard later called one of the best days of my life. And here's the surprise. He's never driven it, not once. He doesn't plan to. Because to him it's not just a car. It's the trophy he never put on display. It's proof that some things are worth chasing only for yourself. That not everything needs to be shared or posted. That sometimes the real win is the one you keep private. There's one car in this garage that almost didn't make it there. A car Rawlings regrets selling more than any other. A 1967 Pontiac GTO black-on-black 4-speed straight from the factory. He had it during his early days when Gas Monkey was just starting up. It was his escape car, something he'd take out after long days at the shop to clear his head. Loud, angry, and fast. It fit him perfectly. But when money got tight, Rawlings did what he always did. Made a deal. He sold it to keep the lights on. And for years he felt bad about it. I knew the second it drove away that it made a mistake, he said once. But luck, or maybe just not giving up, gave him a second chance. Nearly 10 years later, the car came back where he could find it. The new owner was thinking about getting rid of it. And this time, Richard didn't hesitate. He paid more than it was worth. He didn't care. Now it sits in the corner, exactly how he remembered it. Same license plates, same inside, same loud rumble. The only difference, it's not going anywhere again. Some cars are just meant to come home. Richard Rawlings has made a living out of buying and selling cars. He's fixed and sold hundreds, maybe thousands. But there's one car he promises will never be listed, no matter what someone offers. It's a 1984 Porsche 911 Turbo. Not their arrest, not the flashiest, but for Rawlings. It's personal. He bought it after Fast and Loud had taken off when Gas Monkey was at its best and everyone had something to say about who he was and what he was worth. The Porsche was our reminder that he made it, not by luck, but by hard work. It's the car he drove to his first major TV network meeting, Theona he took his daughter for a ride in after she got her license. It's the car he said no to many offers for, including one from a well-known collector who offered twice what it was worth. Richard's answer, you can't buy history. It's not about the car. It's about what it stands for. Pride, independence, and the moment he realized he didn't have to prove himself anymore. In this garage, some cars are kept secret for a reason. Not because they're rare. Not because they're priceless. But because they're highs. A primer gray 50s Bel Air that had pulled from a Texas swamp, still dripping with history. A barn-found Lincoln, Continental that smells like mold and old cigars, but reminds him of his grandfather. And even a rusted-out Ford Pinto. Yes, a Pinto. He says he keeps it as a joke, but if you look close, you'll notice it's always parked near the front, easy to get to, cleaned despite the dents. Because some cars aren't about looking cool. They're bookmarks in the history of a life. They stand for moments, good, bad, or silly, that shape the man behind the monkey. Rawlings could have cleaned these up, sold them for profit, and showed them on TV, but he didn't. Because not everything is meant to be content. Some things are meant to be kept. And here in this off-camera garage, he keeps them all, exactly as they were when they mattered most. Along the back wall of the secret garage, behind stacks of old parts and dusty old stuff, sits something unexpected. A shelf of old photos, yellowed receipts, and scribbled notes. At first glance, it looks like a messy bulletin board, but it's not. It's what Rawlings calls the wall of regret. Each photo is a car he sold too soon. Each receipt is a deal he wishes he'd never made. Each note is a reminder. Some are scratched with the word idiot in marker across the bottom. Others have question marks. And a few are just quiet photos of cars that slipped through his fingers. Cars he let go for the sake of a quick sale, good money, or the speed of the show. I was so busy chasing the next big deal, I forgot to enjoy the ones I already had, he said. The wall isn't about shame, it's about thinking back. It's proof that even for someone who's made millions in the game, the ones that haunt you aren't always the ones you missed, but the ones you let go when you didn't have to. In this garage, those cars still live on, if only as ghosts on a wall. After years in front of the camera, fixing rides with style and flash, you might think Rawlings would need the spotlight. But back here, behind locked doors and out of frame, you see a different side. No yelling, Norrish, just Richard tuning, tinkering, and remembering. This is where he works alone. No deadlines, no pressure, no TV network waiting for drama, just raw metal and real feelings. He once told a close friend, "The only time I feel like I'm not putting on a show is when I'm in this garage." That's why this space matters. It's not about what's in it. It's about what it isn't. It isn't a stage. It's a safe place. And it's where the man behind Gas Monkey finds peace in the one place nobody ever asks for an autograph or a selfie. Just the quiet hum of memories and machines. Every garage tells a story, but this one is more than a collection. It's a confession. A layered, greasy, heartfelt museum of the man behind the myth. Richard Rawlings built an empire on speed and show, but he built himself in here. Every dented fender, every half-finished build, every untouched car under a cover, it all says more about who he is than any season off television ever could. He's not just a deal maker. He's not just a showman. He's a man who remembers every car that made him fall in love with the road, who holds on to machines the way some people hold on to letters, photographs, or songs. And while millions saw the polished, edited version of Richard Rawlings on screen, only a handful will ever see the version that lives in this garage. Because some stories aren't meant to be sold, some builds aren't meant to be finished, and some legacies, they're meant to be kept behind closed doors where they stay real and stay